G'day, it's Clive Roxing here. Now, I've made wild claims before, and when you work on stuff a lot, you'll get these great ideas, but then when you put it into application, it falls apart. I've made this claim many times that I'm jumping out in front of the education system. Well, this is profound, this is big, this really is big, and I've solved this. Now, what I've done, I don't believe that the mathematics that they teach us is the real way they do it. I really don't. I think this is the way they do it. And what I've done here is I've discovered the way that the government most likely do mathematics, because I really don't think they do it the same way as they teach us. This is killer. And this is actually, it's amazingly simple. What I've done is, if you do fluid statics, it's a nightmare. You get this great string of formulas that are all addition. Then when you start to deal with the diameters of the cylinders, you start mixing addition and multiplication. Once you end up with curves and calculus and all the crap in the world, it overcomplicates the living hell. It's only simple, number one, when you've got addition, but with addition where it's a pain in the butt is there's no flexibility. If you get one decimal place out, it doesn't add up. Whereas with multiplication, you can be out by a few decimal places and it doesn't matter. So the trick is to do the whole model in multiplication with no addition whatsoever. And I've tried to do this before and hadn't been successful. I just solved it. What you do is you make each part. Now in this particular one here, I've made the width of the left mount as an overhang. So when you add the whole thing up, this main frame here, you've got the width of the left mount, the width of the right mount, the width of the main body, and then you got the less the two overhangs. And what I've done is I made it all a product of the width of the thing, which I've done before. But what the trick is the way you write the answer down. So when you write the answer down, it becomes just a jumble of numbers, and you lose track of everything, but you end up with the right answer. And so what you're able to do is you'd be able to do a complete model of this that's complete multiplication and division, and there's no addition at all. And I've just successfully done this. This is a bloody breakthrough. I'm really serious here. This is a bloody breakthrough, and you're looking right at it there. There it is there. This is a breakthrough in design. Why? Because the whole thing can be calculated out with multiplication and division. You don't have this complexity of adding bloody addition in there and having an unsolvable equation. Try and do Van der Waals equation. You'd be climbing the walls because it's all bloody addition and multiplication all mixed in together. This way, the whole thing's multiplication. Now, where it comes in, the solution is the second stage of it, is that when you get all of your numbers, they're all going to be long numbers like this. And then when you're in the second stage, you do all your corrections, which you have to do anyway. You have to do this anyway. When you calculate stuff out, even doing addition, you find that there's slight variations and gaps and distances, and you might have to shim parts and stuff like that. So you start getting slight variations. When with addition, there's no give. You can do great calculations. I was doing the design of hydraulic pipes, and I was having all these problems because it was out by 0.2 at the end of the calculation. I couldn't find out where the error was. Bottom line is that when you got multiplication, you can have all these areas and just basically get the numbers to about how many decimal places, and then you just do all your corrections in the second stage. The trick to this was the name and the multipliers. See, if in this calculation I've taken the width of the mount, which is 2.1. divided by the full width, which is 9.12. That's the full width of the whole unit. Now that can be any number. Now it's come out with 0.2302, right? Now what you do now is you now call 0.2302 M1, which is multiplier 1, and then you end up with this. The top one's the regular equation. The length of the left mount extension, which is the external part. Oh, that's the external part of the left mount. Is the width of the left mount minus the left mount overhang, right? But what I've done there, see, I've used the distributive law. You've got the full width multiplied by 0.23, and then you've got the full width multiplied by, which is at 0.043, and then you use your distributive law, and all you got is your 4 width times m1 minus m2. There you go. Now what you've done is you've just done exactly the addition, but you've done it with multiplication, which means that you can take all your volumes and your areas and that, and do it as a complete unit and calculate the whole bloody lot out. You don't have any addition at all. This is a breakthrough. This simplifies the entire model. This means you can write the whole thing out in an equation and calculate the whole lot out, and you don't have an addition sign anywhere. And then when you get all your numbers and you sort it all out, this can be done on a computer program. Once you get all this sorted out, then you go in with your addition and do all your corrections, all your addition corrections, and that can be done in in facing like that, and you can be doing it on the side like that, and you don't have to involve all the volumes and the areas and that when you're doing the calculations for your parts. And so you can take into consideration even the round parts of this. It doesn't make any difference because it's all division and multiplication. There's no addition at all here. You have no idea what you're looking at here. This is a bloody breakthrough. I reckon this is the way they really do it. The way they teach us is bullshit. It's bullshit. If you've ever done fluid statics, it's a nightmare. Because I'll start doing addition and it all looks great, and then all of a sudden you've got all these divisions in there, and you get these unworkable equations that you can't calculate out because they're mixing it all together. It's basically calculus. If you if you add something together and multiply it, you're creating a calculus. No wonder it's all calculus. I don't reckon they do it that way at all. And the funny thing is with logarithms, you can actually do this with logs. In logs, you can actually get multiplication and turn it into addition and subtraction, and I reckon that's how they do it. I really do. I reckon this is the way the government do it. And they're going to be real upset about this. And this is the model that I've got working. This is one of the things that I'm trying to work out, and as you can see here, I've got that functioning. There she goes, look at that. That's working. It's exactly as I wanted it. But what I want to do is write that up into a complete model, and every time I tried to do it with the hydraulics, I ended up with these strings of additions and I couldn't get it to add up. It was a pain. This is a completely new method. And I'm going to be able to write a formula for this whole function, for this whole thing, and then put it up in the net and give it away. And all the people with the math people can get it, and I'll write a program for it and everything. And that can be done easily because it's multiplication, not all this stupid addition bull. And that all comes later. So, Clive Rocksinger, things are rocking and rolling. This is a major breakthrough. Clive Rocksinger, over and out.